On to our election coverage this morning. Two big initiatives on the ballot this year are the Spokane Public Schools bond and the Spokane Parks levy. The school district and the Parks Department partnered for this vote. They're calling it Together Spokane. So let's take a look at how both of these are going. First, taking a look at the Parks levy. Right now that is passing by 54%. The $240 million levy requires a simple majority to pass. Now taking a look at the Spokane Public Schools bond, it is also passing with a little more than 60% voting yes. Bonds, though, require at least 60% approval in order to pass. So we will be keeping a close eye on this as more votes are tallied. As of this morning, the Spokane County Elections Office says they have 22,000 more ballots to count. If the school bond does end up passing, SPS says it will move quickly to put that money to work. One of the major projects is replacing Adams Elementary School. Construction could start by the end of this year. Tim Pham is live at the school this morning with Spokane Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Adam Swinyard. Tim?
Yeah, Nicole, that's right. This morning we are at Adams this morning, and I'm joined by Dr. Adam Swinyard. Good morning, Dr. Swinyard. Thanks for being here with us. I want to jump right in and talk about those early numbers right now to the Together Spokane initiative and the school bond sitting just at that 60% threshold needed to pass. How are you feeling this morning about those early numbers?
Yeah, well, we're cautiously optimistic. 60.75. We'll be eager to see what the vote count looks like this afternoon. You know, Washington is one of 10 states in the country that require a supermajority for school bonds. 60% is a high bar. We're feeling cautiously optimistic this morning.
So last year, the bond measure that didn't make it to that 60% threshold was sitting right around 54%, ended up being around 56%. So it did make an increase once the vote was certified. How are you feeling about that? Do you think that could be an indication of where things will land today?
Yeah, well, we know the numbers can move, you know, plus or minus 2 percentage points, and it'll make for an eager wait today as we see what those numbers look like.
Yeah, so talk to voters this morning. You say that you've been saying that it's about $8 for the average homeowner per month if this should this pass. What do you say to voters who supported this now that the polls are closed, and what do you say to those who maybe were a little bit more hesitant because they felt like this was yet another tax increase?
Yeah, well, to those that supported this initiative, we're really grateful for your trust. And for those that voted no, we respect your decision. Our voters are wise. Our community asked very thoughtful questions. They offered good ideas and excellent critique. And those that voted no, we know that the cost is a significant concern. And we're going to need to do an incredible job if this prevails to show them that there was tremendous value for every dollar, that we recognize the economic impacts of taxes, that part of this initiative was about looking for ways to save people money or really address something very specific that made them feel like it was going to be worth their less than $8 a month. And so we hope for continued engagement. Ultimately, we need to come together as a community, and we can disagree on topics, but we need to look to the future and continue open dialogue and civil discourse. And I think this election cycle was a good example of that. I think Spokane should be proud. We're really grateful for everyone that participated in the process.
Right now we're standing inside Adams Elementary School. Yeah. You say that should this pass, things are gonna move quickly. Tell us, it's about 30 projects. What happens once this gets certified?
Yeah, well, Adams Elementary, as we've shared, is in desperate need of a renovation. It's over 100 years old. It was on the bond that failed in 2024. There was a lot of tears here the next day. It was that was hard news for this school community. So we're really excited for what this could mean for them, and we've intentionally planned that this would be ready to go right off the bat. So kids would be transitioning to a temporary school site in December and January, and we would begin this process right away.
So I have to ask you, should this not go the way that you hope for, what happens next? You are leading the largest school district in this area. Tell us what happens next, and how do you keep that optimism up? Because it does come with a lot of emotions.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't pass, it's clear that the majority of the community says yes. And when these don't prevail and more than the majority said yes, that's a hard explanation for kids. Our kids have become pretty accustomed. We teach them about civics and supermajorities, but still, they're accustomed to what the majority says is the direction we typically go in our republic. And so that's a hard conversation, and we have to respect the process. We have to respect people's opinion. We have to open up civil discourse. What we don't want is to get on social media and send visceral hate and disagreement. That's where we're going wrong in our community and across the country, and Spokane can be an example for different. We don't have to agree on everything. We don't even have to agree on much. But we can come together, we can disagree, and we can talk about the future in a really productive way. And our job as the adults in the community, and schools are the epicenter of that, is we need to model what that looks like for our kids in our community. Win or lose, you do it the right way.
That's right. And a last question for you, Dr. Swinyard. 60% right now, that's already been counted. What does this say about the commitment level of the community and how they feel towards our schools? Yeah,
well, Spokane has historically been very supportive of school ballot initiatives and investing in our future. And, you know, at the heart of this, it's about our kids having opportunities to be the best version of themselves. A huge part of this is getting kids off of screens, out of their homes, active in real life, whether that's the school day or after school. And this is really a transformational investment in our community. Every park, every school, every neighborhood is touched, and it's really about a vision for the future.
All right, Dr. Swinyard, thanks so much for joining us this morning.